History remembers heresy as a crime. But what if the most profound act of heresy was, for a fleeting moment, the most sacred profession in the world? A job that demanded you forget 1,000 gods to carve just one. This is the story of a profession that rose and fell with a single revolutionary idea. A job that existed for less than 20 years, yet tried to rewrite eternity. The Aten Sun-Disk Carvers of Amarna. 3,300 years ago, the Egyptian Empire was a bastion of tradition. For millennia, its people had worshipped a complex pantheon: Ra, Osiris, Isis, Amun. These gods were etched into every temple wall, their stories the bedrock of civilization. Then a new pharaoh took the throne. Amenhotep IV changed his name to Akhenaten, and he brought with him a revelation that would shatter the known world. He declared all the old gods were false. There was only one true God, a universal, formless deity whose presence was felt in the light and warmth of the sun, the Aten. And with that decree, an entire religious industry of priests, scribes, and artisans was made instantly obsolete. In its place, a new profession was born from the dust of the old. What must it have been like to be told that the gods your father and his father carved were lies, and that you must now carve the only truth? Akhenaten abandoned the ancient capital of Thebes and built a new city in the middle of the desert, a place untouched by any other god. He called it Akhenaten, the horizon of the Aten. It was built with breathtaking speed, a blank canvas for his new world order, and at the heart of this project were the carvers. They weren't just stonemasons, they were the architects of a new faith. Their task was to give a face to a faceless god. The Aten could not be shown as a man or an animal. It was a pure solar disk whose rays terminated in tiny human hands, extending the gift of life to the royal family. Every temple, every palace, every private tomb in this new city needed to be covered in this radical new iconography. But how do you build an entire theology in stone, from scratch, in the middle of nowhere? The answer was a complete artistic revolution. The pharaoh dictated a new style, one that broke every rule of Egyptian art. Gone were the rigid, idealized, and eternally youthful figures. In their place, the carvers were commanded to sculpt reality. Akhenaten was to be depicted as he was, with a long face, swollen belly, and spindly limbs. The royal family was shown in shockingly intimate scenes, kissing their daughters, mourning, eating. For the carvers, this must have been both terrifying and exhilarating. They had been trained their entire lives in a rigid system of proportion and symbolism, and now they were being asked to throw it all away. They were told to carve the raw, unfiltered truth, but whose truth was it really? The pharaoh's, or something they were just beginning to discover themselves? Imagine the pressure in the workshops of Amarna. The desert sun beats down as the rhythmic sound of mallet on chisel fills the air. You were carving the image of the one true God for the living God on earth, Akhenaten himself. One slip, one misplaced line could be interpreted not as a mistake, but as blasphemy. The pharaoh himself might walk through the workshops inspecting your progress. Your work wasn't just decoration, it was scripture carved in stone, the primary tool for teaching this new religion to the masses. The carvers of Amarna were the most important propagandists in the kingdom, their art the only Bible this new faith had. Think of the psychological weight. Carving the one true God, knowing a single wrong chip from your chisel could mean your ruin. These artisans were the elite of this new society. They lived in comfortable villas in Akhenaten's purpose-built city, a stark contrast to the laborers who built it. They were privileged, but they were also watched. Their hands shaped the divine, but their minds were expected to be in perfect alignment with the pharaoh's vision. Were they true believers, swept up in Akhenaten's charismatic revolution, or were they simply the most skilled opportunists in Egypt, brilliant craftsmen who adapted to a new, wealthy patron, their personal faith a secondary concern to their survival and prosperity? It's a question history leaves unanswered. Perhaps for many, the two were inseparable. To work so intimately with an idea, to give it form day after day, is a powerful way to come to believe in it. For a brief, brilliant period, Amarna flourished. The city was a testament to the carver's skill. Miles of limestone cliffs were hollowed out into tombs, their walls a vibrant tapestry of this new life under the Aten. Palaces and temples gleamed with reliefs of the sun-disk shining down on the royal family. The carvers had created a complete, unified world of art and faith. They were at the epicenter of a new universe, their hands shaping its every surface, their chisels the instruments of creation itself. They were more than artists. They were prophets in service to a king who saw himself as one. They were living in a golden age, the center of the world, until one day, the world simply ended. Akhenaten died after just 17 years on the throne. His revolution died with him. His young son, Tutankhamun, was taken back to Thebes by the old priests of Amun-Ra. His name was changed to Tutankhamun, and the old gods were restored. The city of Akhenaten, the horizon of the Aten, was systematically abandoned. The Aten Sun-Disk Carvers suddenly found their profession not just obsolete, but heretical. Their patron was gone, their god was cursed, and their city was left to be reclaimed by the desert sands. They were the creators of a world that was now being actively, violently erased from existence. What happens to your soul when the god you devoted your life to is declared a demon and its images are systematically smashed to dust? The outblast was absolute. Akhenaten was branded the enemy, and his name, along with the names of his family and his god, were chiseled out of monuments across Egypt. The great temples of Amarna were dismantled, their stones used for other buildings. The beautiful reliefs the carvers had so painstakingly created were smashed, defaced, or buried. The profession of the Aten Sun-Disk Carver vanished as quickly as it had appeared. The artisans themselves likely scattered, trying to blend back into a society that now rejected everything they had created. They had to forget their revolutionary art and return to carving the old gods, pretending the sun-disk had never shone. Their names were erased, their city abandoned to the winds. But did their revolution, their unique artistic vision, truly die with them? The answer is a faint but beautiful no. While the heresy was wiped out, the art style lingered. In the tomb of Tutankhamun, discovered thousands of years later, we can see ghosts of Amarna. The art is more formal, but traces of the naturalism, the intimacy, and the fluid lines remain. The carvers of Amarna, though their names are lost and their god is forgotten, left a permanent, if subtle, mark on the soul of Egyptian art. They were anonymous revolutionaries whose work was meant to last for eternity, but barely survived a generation. They were tasked with sculpting a new god for a heretic pharaoh, and in doing so, they briefly sculpted a new way of seeing the world. A profession born of one man's vision, which shows us how fragile even the most sacred jobs can be when the winds of power change. What do you think drove these carvers? Was it true faith, artistic passion, or simply the will to survive? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed digging into the forgotten corners of history, make sure to subscribe to Lost Professions for more stories of the jobs that time left behind.